Boom. Misha Oliver at the top of the list. Fox Hill Dreams. Tina G. Splooge McDuck. Kathleen Cross. Cecile Kazemi. Bernadette. Meredith Powell. Susie Brizuela. Scribbles My Dibbles. Queen of the South. Mytal Capelli, Kimini, Veronica Tello, That Damn Alaskan, and me, BDD in the Heezy. The Trump Reaper, Sydney C, Loppy Girl, Monique Lee, Sarah B, Jamie from Wisconsin, Nurse Mitch, Garden Always, Eagle Star 747, Whoa Mom, Maureen Otto, Sandra from Paramount, California. Yes, it is cold in here, Kimini. Lucielle. Harold James in the house. Stephanie L. Welcome, welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka BrooklynDad, and this is Storytime. Gling, gling! Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a wonderful, fantastical weekend. Also, welcome to Mrs. Mia to you who have just arrived. Studio LB, Lisa Hathaway, Samantha Hawkins. I said Gavin Rutherford is here. I see quite a few people are enjoying the Splooge McDuck. Wait, is that Matt? Is that Matt Meehan? He's always got the best names. Yeah, and I'm wearing this jacket because I forgot to turn the heat on in this room, and it's freezing. It is brick ass cold in here. It was at one point this morning. It was that's Meek. Meek Spees is Splooge McDuck. It was 11 degrees this morning. Yeah, this is way too cold. Anyway. We got some stuff to discuss, but let's start off with our stories of the day.
Stories of the day.
Censorship. That is on the top of everybody's mind, so we're going to get to the bottom of things with censorship. Nazis were spotted in Florida, and some people cared and some people didn't care. This is the 21st century. Nazis should be a thing of the past. Our guessing game is name that movie character quote. Movie character quote. Last but not least, today's You Raggedy Bish is none other than the former defeated quote unquote president, lowercase p on that Spanky McDumbass. Yes, indeed. Spanky McDumbass is saying some bullshit, and we're gonna get to the bottom of that. M Getz, what's up, my man? Let's see. Sylvia Correa says hello to everyone. Nurse Mitch. Lee Saunders says hello, everyone. Wifey is here. Wifey, ladies and gentlemen, she is here. The love of my life. There she is. Has my heating gone? Yes, the heat is. Hopefully by the end of this show, it'll be a little warmer in here. All right, so let's get started. I got a bunch of stuff to do in today's random stuffs. A lot of things to cover. Here we go. So, this year's football NFL playoffs have been a doozy. Even if you're not a big football fan, you just you tune in every year at the Super Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. These games have been exciting. And part of the reason is that, some underdogs have arisen and captured America's hearts. I'm talking about those Cincinnati Bengals. My apologies to the Kansas City Chiefs, who I was actually rooting for. I was rooting for the Chiefs, which is not what I usually do. I usually root for the underdog, and the Bengals were the underdog. But, I wanted to see Patrick Mahomes get that. He's already been to the big show before. He's incredibly talented. I'm sure he'll be back some other year, but this is not his year. This is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Higgins and Boyd and Joe Mixon. Let's not forget Joe Mixon. They're all going to the big show, and they will be facing, Karen Purdy is here from Newton Falls, Ohio. That's where the Cincinnati Bengals hail from. Ohio. They'll be going to the big show to face Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and a buzzsaw of a defense in this year's Super Bowl. The Rams actually handed it to San Francisco last night. They didn't beat them by a lot. They beat them by just enough, by 3 points. And doesn't matter if you win by 1 point. A win is a win is a win. Hey, Solid Blue Sister is here, everybody. Welcome, Solid Blue Sister. So yeah, this is shaping up to be a rather exciting. I mean, both sides, the Rams and the Bengals, have all the firepower you could hope for, but only one team can win. Who will it be? Tune in and we'll find out. Meanwhile, today is January 31st. It's almost February. Tomorrow is February, and my Christmas lights are still up, bitches! Christmas was over a month and 6 days ago, and my Christmas lights are still up. I'm defiant. I swear to God, I bet you my neighbors are like looking out the window. Man, we're gonna take those lights down. Not today, bitches. I swear, I might be the only person in the entire area, the only house with the Christmas lights up. I don't care. Damn it. But the lights, the other lights, sunset was beautiful this weekend. I got a great shot of the sunset right off the back of my car there. Beautiful. I love it so much. Another thing I love is the scale was kind to me this weekend as I tipped down to 221. That makes 14 pounds. 14 pounds I have shed since the beginning of this whole 30 thing. That's exciting. It's exciting as hell. I mean, I want more. And wifey, I couldn't do it. Seriously, and I'm not just saying this. I could not do this without wifey. She's doing it with me, you know. Let me give you for instance. I can't make things like this. This is, damn it. I think it's called, is it cottage pie? Cause damn. Something like that. Cottage pie, shutter pie. Help me out here, wifey. I cannot remember what the thing it is. Cottage. It's cottage pie. And at first I looked at it, I was like, wait, what is that breadcrumbs on top? She's like, no, it's potato. I swear to God, I don't care about potato. I never liked potato. I mean, baked potato, no, I don't care about potato. I do like French fries, but potato was never my friend. Now it's my best friend, potato. Go figure. And this thing was, delicious. It's got, what's that called? Chopped meat, ground beef in there. So good. So very, very good. And yeah, she's helped keep me on the straight and narrow. I bitch so much. You guys don't even have an idea how much I bitch about all the different foods I want. Pizza. And let's get into pizza for a second, because we went to Costco. I can't remember if that was yesterday or Saturday, but we pulled into the driving lot, the parking lot, and there was a dude, right, with just a pizza pie and a beverage. That's it, right? And he just walked to his car. I sat there in the car because we had just pulled in. I sat and watched him. I immediately got on my Twitter and I was like, this dude just came all the way to Costco for a pizza pie, and now I have questions. And I told wifey what I was tweeting before I hit send, and she's like, you know, there's gonna be a ton of people coming to that guy's defense, right? And I was like, yeah, so? And sure enough, I hit send, and like, last I checked, there were over 1,000 replies on this tweet, like, yo, Costco pizza's the best. So many people, like, just going to Costco for the pizza. I was like, you know, you have access to all these different places. You can get pizza, you can get it from Original Ray's or Amazing Ray's or whatever, but Costco pizza. So now I want Costco pizza. The first day, I don't know if I'm going to do it the first day. I know the first day I'm able to eat anything that's not on the Whole30 diet is next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. I can do whatever. Hey, Melissa McQueen is here. Let's see. Am I missing anyone? I see Veronica Tello. Scribble my dibbles here. She said Costco pizza is great. I gotta do it now. Let's see. Who am I missing? Garden Always. I don't know if I got you before, but if I didn't, I got you now. All right. Monique Lee. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so this weekend, wifey and I watched. Hey, what's up, Kimberly Moss? I see you there. And Samantha Hawkins is here as well. Wifey and I watched this show, The After Party. It's on And let's see, Here Sial. Here Sial is here as well. Heersyal. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Here Sial. And as is Punxsutawney Mo, who hurt his back. I'm sorry to hear that, my buddy. The After Party is on Apple TV, and it is one of the funniest shows I have seen in a while. It's got a great ensemble cast, and it's Tiffany Haddish plays a detective who shows up at an after party being thrown by Dave Franco. Dave Franco plays like a humongous big star. Hello, Eddie G. I see you there. He plays a big star who organizes his own reunion, high school reunion. He's big and successful, so he kind of wants to shit in people's faces with his success, which, whatever. And there's a great ensemble cast. Ilana Glazer from Broad City. Sam Richardson, I believe his name is, from Veep. Hilarious. Ben Schwartz from Parks and Rec and a gazillion other shows. It is funny as hell. Because basically, she has to deconstruct what happened. Who done it, basically, because when she gets there, Dave Franco's character is dead. He's dead. And so she has to interrogate everybody who was there and find out who done it. Hilarious show. I'm sorry if you don't have Apple TV, but if you do, I highly recommend it. It's way up there. Very, very funny. And another show, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of getting on my nerves too. It's starring Kristen Bell. Many of you may know her from The Good Place or Veronica Mars. Kristen Bell, everybody knows Kristen Bell. Anyway, she's in a new series on Netflix called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. just the title alone lets you know, oh, this is a spoof on horror movies. And yes, it is. It's got potential. You know, wifey and I are already drawn in. I think we're 4 episodes in. It's interesting. It's a woman who is grieving, and she's got a serious drinking problem. She drinks wine. Anna from Frozen. Didn't know that. Yeah. She drinks a hell of a lot of wine. She's keeping the local liquor store in business, and I guess also the local place that sells these kind of casserole things, not Tupperware, ceramic casserole. She's dropped like 8 of them in the show. It's very interesting. And this guy here, Buell, he's been fixing her mailbox for a week at least. Something's up with this guy. If I don't find out anything else, if I don't find out who the killer is, whatever, I want to know what the hell, why is he fixing this mailbox for a week? And she sees nothing peculiar about that. Something screwy is going on here. Interesting show. Very interesting. Corningware. Thank you, Linda Lick, and welcome to you as well. Melissa McQueen, this show, as I said before, it's called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. Hilarious title. Corningware. Thank you for that. So yeah, if you get a chance to check this out, it's on Netflix. It's pretty good. Last but not least, this Wednesday, aka Hump Day, there will not be a story time with BDD. The reason is Wednesday is my son's birthday. Robuddy Romeo will be turning 16, the big 1-6. And we have been invited to a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden. So we're excited as hell, and we're going to be seeing that. And that's that. I haven't been to a Knicks game, I want to say, in maybe 20 years. It's been a long time. So it'll be different, wearing a mask. Actually, I think I'll be wearing 2 masks. I'll wear the KN95 underneath and then a big cloth mask over the KN95 just because it tucks it in nice and neat. So that's the deal, my friends. And that is it for our random stuffs. And excuse me, let's see. Now it's time for our quick hits. Yeah, you some of my bee. Interesting. Sandra says driving lesson for Sweet 16. He actually just passed his driving test. Took a written driving test. He passed with flying colors. He got a 94 out of 100. So, he will be doing the driving lessons as well. And M gets, no, I have not been sledding in quite some time, but I would love to. All right, quick hits. Boris Johnson, the United Kingdom's version of Trump, has been under fire of late because of his conduct in the Partygate scandal and an investigation. An investigation of the 10 Downing Street parties that were held while COVID-19 restrictions were in place found that some of the gatherings showed a serious failure to observe the standards expected of government officials. Yeah. And so this morning, I think it was this morning, maybe it was this afternoon for us. I saw it this morning. Theresa May had some words for Boris Johnson, and these were tasty.
The COVID regulations impose significant restrictions on the freedoms of members of the public. They had a right to expect their Prime Minister to have read the rules, to understand the meaning of the rules, and indeed those around him to have done so too, and to set an example in following those rules. What the Gray report does show is that number 10 Downing Street was not observing the regulations they had imposed on members of the public. So either my right honourable friend had not read the rules, or didn't understand what they meant, and others around him, or they didn't think the rules applied to number 10. Which was it?
It's a very important question. I want to hear the answer, even if other people don't. Prime Minister.
No, Mr. Speaker, that is not what the Gray report says. It is not what the Gray report says. But if I suggest that she waits to see the conclusion of the inquiry.
I kind of like how their parliament sessions go. They seem rowdy. They seem like, minutes away from an all-out brawl. I honestly wouldn't mind if our sessions were like that. I don't know. I honestly don't pay enough attention to British politics, and so I'm not sure if they make more progress. I'm going to ask Lee Saunders. She says it's a bear pit. Lee, tell me, do they make more progress, more forward progress on issues than our Senate does? Because our Senate seems to hardly move at all most of the time. I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments over here, and I'm gonna keep this thing moving until I do see your comments. Pink Karen Purdy says they are too nice as they rip someone to pieces. Meredith Powell says it's like a Jerry Springer audience, and Lee Saunders says Johnson has an 80-seat majority. He can pass anything. Wow. The majority, that's key right there. That is key. Okay, so he's not in any risk of losing his seat, of being ousted. Yeah? He's safe? I don't know. Meanwhile, down in Florida, Nazis were seen this weekend, just out and about shouting, they're taking the right to protest away. That's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, Nazis are just out and about like it's cool, like it's, the popular thing to do. It's not. And I guess their First Amendment right gives them the rights to do this shit, but it's disgusting. And I would love to see more people come out against this. Now, to be fair, there were plenty of local officials and lawmakers who seemed to come out pretty quickly to denounce these Nazi demonstrations. I actually have a clip. I'll show you this now. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of them, but every movement starts with just like a handful of people, so we just hope that movement doesn't gain any traction. But Governor DeSantis's press secretary, Christina Pushaw, she stopped short of denouncing them, and actually she seemed to want to blame Democrats. She says, do we even know that they're Nazis? Then when they pointed out that, yes, they are Nazis, she deleted, that was a tweet. She deleted that tweet. And then she suggested that the whole thing was a stunt by Democrats, and she pointed to that thing that happened. Glenn Youngkin's campaign and the Lincoln Project did some stunt where they had guys dress up in khakis. The Lincoln Project, for the record, those are not Democrats. Those are Republicans who don't like Trump. Big difference, all right? So, yeah, eventually DeSantis did come out and denounce Nazis, but, you shouldn't have to like fight to do that sort of thing. That should come easy as pie. Today, 6 HBCUs received bomb threats and this is the second time in a month that HBCUs are historically black college universities. And yeah, this is the second time. The first time was January 5th. There were 3 HBCUs. Today, it was Southern University and A&M, Howard University, Bethune-Cookman University, Albany State University, Bowie State University, and Delaware State University all received bomb threats. So, as of like a half hour ago when I was researching this, nobody was hurt, but many of those schools, most of them, maybe all of them, were evacuated, and they're investigating. There's nothing more I can say about it aside from the fact that I believe there's got to be some kind of connection between the announcement that President Biden is selecting a black woman for the Supreme Court and 6 bomb threats all in the same day, the very weekend after we learned about his potential nominees. So next up, So going back to yesterday's game between the Rams and the 49ers, Governor Gavin Newsom was in attendance. A lot of celebrities. They showed Leonardo DiCaprio was there. I forget the other celebrities that they showed. But Magic Johnson, the legendary former Laker Magic Johnson was there with Governor Newsom. The problem with this is that Governor Newsom has mask rules in place that it is clear he is not following. Once again, dude, how hard is it to follow your own damn rules? I am tired of this. It's like you're inviting the trolls to come out. You're making our job difficult, huh? Because we're out here trying to promote, hey, look out for your fellow man, wear a mask. And then this jackass is like, I don't want to wear a mask. Dude, come on. You should immediately rescind any and all mask mandates. It doesn't matter if they took them off. Why would you take it off for the photo? Why would you do that? Seriously. There's so many different ways to do this sort of thing. You're giving them reasons that they don't need. It's really just, come on. Right? All right. Let's see. I lost my quick hits music. There it is. Just in time for the end of the quick hits. That's it. That's it for the quick hits. That's really annoying, though. It's annoying as hell. All right, let me shake off the feeling of annoying. Oh, hello, Bernadette. I see you there. Welcome. And for those of you who are just arriving, please remember to hit that like button. It looks like a thumbs up. It helps the show. It helps the analytics, the algorithm, whatever, the like. Please to do. Thank you. And now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for our timeline, a cleanse. Timeline cleanse. All right. A timeline, a cleanse. I'm sure you guys all remember the thing, patty cake, right? Patty cake bakers, man. It was that thing where you do that sort of thing, the hands thing. Have you ever done it with a cat? Well, if you have, then clearly you don't need to see this next video. This is adorable. This is literally the essence of the timeline cleanse. A kitten. That's actually not patty cake or catty cake or whatever, but what is this? What would you call this? The hand on top of the hand thing. That's cute as hell. She's so little. All right. Next up, one of the things that I look forward to doing is not only when I'm finished with this whole 30 thing, but once society returns to normal and we can do things like going to getting food from outdoor vendors. Yeah, I'm I'm courageous like that. I will get food from a guy at the cart in the drop of a hat. Sometimes they make really fantastic food. But this next guy here, it seems like his food prep is only half of his act. Meanwhile, the customer, extremely patient. Dude on the right. Here you go. Nope. Wait a minute. Wait. All right. Here you go. Nope. Face. Here, wait. Let me take. No. There you go. Wet. Nope. Here, this. No. On your nose. There you go. You take a napkin. No. Shake my hand. Now. There you go. This dude is great. I would show up just to watch this guy do that, and I would wait to see if anybody lost their cool on him. But it's funny though. That's not gonna work with everybody. That is not gonna work, especially if you're hungry. I just thought that's funny. Okay, this next one I believe is from our friend Philosophy. I'm not sure if Philosophy is here. I have not seen him yet. Yes, I do like practical jokes, Melissa. Yeah, I love them very much. Adrian Gladys is here. Welcome, Adrian. I think this is from Philosophy, aka Jonathan Slater. When I was a kid, I did play with fireworks, firecrackers. And the thing is, that fuse is short. You don't have a hell of a lot of time to throw it or get away from it. You got to light it and run, right? Do not, I repeat, do not try this at home. But if you do, make sure you look at your hand.
For you guys, ready? Look at this. Oh, I gotta go fast. Oh, that's fast.
Okay, I'm not sure if you noticed what has occurred, but he lights the thing. My dude does not put the firework down. He puts the lighter down. He put the lighter down and ran off holding the firecracker. Oh my God. Look at your hand, bro. Yeah, the music kills me. That video, just so you know, that video is going to get dinged by YouTube. So I'm going to have to trim out that whole 60 seconds or whatever. It's fine. Hey, Corey Lord, what's up, my dude? Welcome. I don't think I saw you earlier. And Jen Murphy is back. I hope your dad is doing well. We missed Jen Murphy last week because her pop was in the hospital. I hope he's doing better. All right. It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for our main topic of the day. And it's censorship. Censorship is in the news quite a bit these days because, a lot of folks on the right wing are complaining that they are being censored, whether it's, on Twitter or if it's on a podcast or, some other form of social media, some communications, whatever. Censorship is a big hot button topic. And I wanted to bring this up to discuss it because there are many different issues at play here when you talk about censorship. It's not only right-wing politicians, it's books. It's books that, when you were in high school, you may have read To Kill a Mockingbird or other books that are either being banned or under threat of being banned. And so it's a real and serious issue. Like, okay, the issue is some things are being boycotted Some things are being canceled, or some people are being canceled. And some things are being systematically eliminated. And there's a difference between all three. And there is a place for all three. Let's jump in. Censorship is the suppression or prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc. that are considered obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security. Obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security. And it happens whenever some people succeed in imposing their personal political or moral values on others. The First Amendment does not cover obscenity. Doesn't. And, you know, the obscenity is determined, I think, loosely as like pornography, specifically child pornography, and whatever else you can prove is obscene. Now, in my opinion, one of the most obscene things I've seen has nothing to do with pornography. It has to do with behavior, you know. And frankly, a presidential candidate mocking a disabled reporter is still, in my mind, one of the most obscene things I have seen. Obscene. It's obscene that he was elected after he did this. That's obscene. But I guess the First Amendment protected his portrayal of his disrespectful portrayal of a disabled reporter. The First Amendment, however, did not protect his tendency to use his Twitter account, in which he had, I think it was 80 million Twitter followers, maybe 85 million, something like that. It didn't protect his tendency to use it to incite violence, to incite insurrection. And, you know, Twitter gave him, I remember, Twitter gave him a whole shitload of chances. Many, many, many chances. It was like there were over a dozen tweets that he posted that got flagged. This tweet has been flagged for being misleading about the election results over and over and over. So some people are still complaining about the fact that he was suspended permanently from Twitter. At least I hope it's permanently. Because he does not belong on Twitter. He doesn't have a filter. He doesn't have the ability to control his urge to spread wild misinformation for his own selfish purposes. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Mike Lindell have also been suspended by Twitter permanently. And the same deal. These two, in addition to like people like Steve Bannon and maybe a half dozen others, have been permanently suspended by Twitter, going back to one of those reasons for security reasons. Yeah, when you continually push this big lie, the big election lie, you are creating a sense of resentment, angry resentment, and you are potentially mobilizing people to once again rise up and commit acts of violence, and using Twitter as your means of doing so. Twitter said, look, this is our property. This is our space. Twitter is a privately owned company. So you want to do that shit with a cup and a string, that's your business. You want to go on some other platform like Gab or Parler or any one of those other right-wing things, that's up to you. But Twitter, the folks at Twitter said, not here. Not here. So is that censorship? Twitter has a right to determine what conduct they will deem acceptable on their platform. It's privately owned. So censorship, I don't know. Censorship is more like a thing where the government, is telling you, you can't say this and you can't say that. And the government had they didn't have anything to do with Twitter's decision in this instance. The government, however, is in charge of the FCC, known as the Federal Communications Council? What is it? Sorry, hang on. I know I have the picture on my screen. Cannot remember. What does the FCC stand for? Federal Communications Commission, I believe it is. Trump Reaper wants to know, is propaganda always a bad thing? I'm going to say usually, because propaganda means that it's an exaggeration of reality, of the truth. It is. Commission. Thank you. Thank you, guys. The Federal Communications Commission is responsible for what we see and hear on the boob tube, on TV, and they determine what is obscene and what is not obscene. And for the most part, nudity is considered obscene. So boobs, full frontal, obscene. They will get blurred out, even on shows called Naked and Afraid. You think you're tuning into a show that's naked and afraid, you're going to see something. You're not going to see nothing. It's going to be blurred out. Or a movie like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So this was a gag, by the way. She was cursing, and anytime she cursed, they blacked out her mouth. So you can't even, there are shows where not only will they beep the person using profanity, but they will blur the mouth so you can't even see them cursing. They've taken censoring profanity to that level. We don't even want you to see somebody saying fuck or shit. We don't want you to see it. One of my favorite movies, and I mean this, was Django Unchained. This was a movie directed by Quentin Tarantino, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. People say it's revenge porn or whatever. Yeah, it's about a guy who was a slave, and then the dude on the right, the dentist, he comes, buys his freedom, and enlists him to get his wife back, whip a slave master, and shoot up a whole bunch of racist slave owners and whatnot. What's not to like about that? But you know what? Spike Lee, the famous Spike Lee, of Do the Right Thing and Mo Better Blues and, dozens of other great works of art, he did not appreciate Quentin Tarantino's use of the N-word, repeated use, and he didn't like his glorification of this movie. He said, his ancestors suffered and they died, and all that stuff is true. This is fiction, it's fantasy. I loved it. I personally loved it, but Spike Lee boycotted the movie. And is boycotting a form of censorship? Boycotting in a capitalist society, it's basically saying, look, I work hard for my money, and I will spend my money on these things because I agree with the politics, I agree with the aesthetics, I agree with this. But if I don't like something in this capitalist society, one of the very few things I can do to stick a middle finger up at the CEO of a company that I disagree with is say, I'm not going to patronize your business. And I'm going to go and get a bunch of my friends who agree with me, and we're not going to patronize your business. And this is what has happened with Spotify, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But before I get to the Spotify, I also want to cover comedians, because comedians have gotten canceled. You know, on the left here, we have Michael Richards, aka more famously known as Kramer from Seinfeld. And on the right, that's Dave Chappelle, who needs no introductions. Dave Chappelle. Both comedians have gotten into some hot water. Michael Richards, he got into hot water, I think it was 12, maybe 14 years ago. And his career has not recovered. His career is frozen in time. Yeah, he was doing a stand-up routine and a heckler was getting after him and he exploded with the N-word. And this shit was caught on video. And that was it. That was a wrap. So you could kind of say, you could say he was canceled. Nobody wanted to mess with him after that. They really, he didn't just say it once. He said it like a whole bucket of N-words fell out of him. And, boy, should he be allowed to recover from that? I don't remember if he came out with an apology. I feel like he did apologize. Me personally, I would be willing to give him a second chance. He doesn't seem like a hardcore racist. I would give him a second chance, Everybody can, in the heat of the moment, he was being attacked and he reflexively came out with that. As long as he did some hard, serious, internalizing of what he did. And, 14 years, that's a whole lot of time to think about what you did. When you were a kid, you got in trouble. Your parents said you to sit in the corner, or go to your room and think about what you did. He's had a lot of time to think about it. Maybe it's time. Dave Chappelle, meanwhile, recently got into some trouble with his Netflix special, in where he said some things that that the transgender community did not appreciate it. I'm not sure if it was what he said or how he said it. And frankly, I watched his whole special, and it seemed like he didn't have to say what he did, but it sounded like he was trying to explain that he is with the trans community, but he doesn't agree with everything. Something to that effect. So Dave Chappelle, was he canceled? I don't know, because half of the people who saw his stand-up routine agreed with what he said, and the other half vehemently disagreed. He doesn't believe that he's canceled and doesn't give a damn whether he's canceled or not. He's just going to do his thing regardless. I don't know. I think as long as there is a significant number of people who support your behavior, then you don't get canceled. Like Trump has not been canceled, despite the fact that he is he is the worst president of all time. He should be in jail. He is a criminal, but he's not canceled. He's still having rallies. A guy who can draw a full house rally and have thousands of people cheering for him in the cold, he's not canceled. But censorship goes all the way back to the Bible. All the way back to the Adam and Eve days. Yeah, this is a picture of Adam and Eve. Now I could have, philosophy. Thank you, my friend, for the donation. I agree. Trump needs to be canceled now. There were dozens of pictures of Adam and Eve that I thought were much better than this one. However, the sticky taco! Thank you, Philosophy, for summoning the sticky taco as we discuss Adam and Eve. There were better pictures that featured, Eve's jubblies and Adam's junk, but I couldn't show this on YouTube because on YouTube, I will be censored. This video will be flagged. I've gotten flagged this show. Guys, I don't remember ever showing anybody topless, any nudity on this show, but one of my videos, for some reason, got flagged for showing topless something or other. And I get it, so I don't want to take a chance with YouTube flagging this episode. So here's fully clothed Adam and Eve. But back in the Adam and Eve days, God censored them. He says, "Thou shalt not see each other's naughty bits. You are forbidden from looking at the junk." That was the first censor. Yeah. And then they disobeyed. And what happened? They got cast out of Eden. That is the first example of censorship. Here. This is the report I got from YouTube saying adult content. A human actually reviewed my video and found that my video included sexual behavior, language, or expressions, including both real and computer-generated visuals. What? And inappropriate language. Yeah, go figure. YouTube sucks. Book burnings. Started back in on May 10th, 1933. At least that's the oldest example of book burnings I was able to find. It might have happened much earlier, but that's what I found. Nazi-dominated student groups carried out public burnings of books that they claimed were un-German. The book burnings took place in 34 universities, university towns and cities. Here's a quote from Oscar Wilde. It says, "The books that the world calls immoral are the books that show the world its own shame." Yeah, that sounds very familiar. That quote sounds like it was made for these times. We just found out that the book Mouse was banned by a school in Tennessee. Now, Mouse is a Pulitzer Prize winning piece of work, and it tells us the true story of the writer's parents' internment at the Auschwitz concentration camp during the Holocaust, and how his mother killed herself after the war. And this book was banned by a school in Tennessee for profanity, and I think there was also nudity as well. But I mean, this is the Pulitzer Prize winning. Don't you want your students to have access to the best examples of literature and art and things like? Don't you want to expand their minds? Walk them through it. Don't just give them the book and have no discussion about it. Have a teacher walk them through their feelings about it. Make for a much better discussion, I think. To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird has, for a long time, been under assault by teachers and parents. And, that's a story about a white lawyer's efforts to defend a black man wrongly accused of rape. Now, this sort of thing used to happen all the time in our dirty American past. Now, Atticus Finch, of course, he is in most people's memory. He is the hero of this story. But it turns out he wasn't such a great guy. He was tolerant of the racism around him. He described one of the members of the lynch mob as a good man. Still, why do you close your eyes at that sort of thing? I think it's important for people to know how ugly our past got, because when you see how bad it got, if you stir inside, if you feel something that shocks you, that offends you, then you are more likely to do everything you can to prevent that from happening again. It's very important. So this book was banned at a school in Seattle, which I'm shocked by, because I thought Seattle, that's where our peeps were, So a 20-member instructional committee of teachers, parents, and community members had voted by nearly 2/3 majority to no longer have the book be required reading. And that brings us to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, as you know, is the most popular podcaster by a mile, and he has been paid a hefty sum by Spotify, $100 million. He's been paid by them to have exclusive rights to Joe Rogan's podcast on their platform, on Spotify. So he has often had people on the show who are vaccine hesitant, who are anti-vaxxers, and he doesn't often have differing points of view on his show, which has been a problem. And so Neil Young stepped up and said, "You know what? I don't want to share the same platform with this guy. You can't have both of us. You can't have my music and his misinformation. So pick one." Spotify picked Joe Rogan. And then Joni Mitchell joined in. And this is an instance of, I would say, not censorship, but Neil Young saying, "I disagree with the way this misinformation is being shared on the biggest possible stage without giving equal time to people of differing opinions and points of view. You can't really afford that when we are struggling to end this pandemic, and you are promoting the wrong thing." And who am I to say what's wrong? It's not me. It's science. It's 270 scientists who all signed a paper saying, please Spotify, stop the misinformation on COVID. You are not helping the cause. So Joe Rogan admitted as much, He had no choice because Spotify was losing a huge chunk of. Lee Saunders says, "I'm going blurry." Am I going blurry, you guys? I don't know. they were losing a huge chunk of their market share. They lost like $4 billion last week on the stock market. Let's see here. Yeah. And they continued to plummet until today, because this weekend Joe Rogan came out. First, Spotify said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put a disclaimer at the beginning of his show, a warning that everything you see may not be factually correct. Yeah, let's see.
Neil Young has removed his music from the platform of Spotify, and Joni Mitchell and apparently some other people want to as well. I'm very sorry that they feel that way. I most certainly don't want that. I'm a Neil Young fan. I've always been a Neil Young fan. I'll tell you a story at the end of this about that. One of the things that Spotify wants to do that I agree with is that at the beginning of these controversial podcasts, like specifically ones about COVID, is to put a disclaimer and say that you should speak with your physician, and that these people and the opinions that they express are contrary to the opinions of the consensus of experts, which I think is very important. Sure, have that on there. I'm very happy with that. Also, I think if there's anything that I've done that I could do better is have more experts with differing opinions right after I have the controversial ones. I would most certainly be open to doing that. And I would like to talk to some people that have differing opinions on those podcasts in the future. We'll see. I do all the scheduling myself, and I don't always get it right. These podcasts are very strange because they're just conversations. And oftentimes I have no idea what I'm going to talk about until I sit down and talk to people. And that's why some of my ideas are not that prepared or fleshed out, because I'm literally having them in real time. But I do my best, and they're just conversations. And I think that's also the appeal of the show. It's one of the things that makes it interesting. So I want to thank Spotify for being so supportive during this time. And I'm very sorry that this is happening to them and that they're taking so much heat from it. Neil Young has removed his music from.
Okay, so basically Joe Rogan is saying that, it's just conversations that he's having. He's kind of downplaying the significance of his reach. Dude, you are the guy. You are the podcaster. And I've said this on this show many times. I don't have nearly the reach of a Joe Rogan. Not even close to his reach. But still, the stupid little things I tweet now and then, I make sure that I'm not spreading more misinformation. And it was bugging the hell out of me yesterday and Saturday. I kept seeing tweets saying that Bruce Springsteen, Barbara Streisand, Barry Manilow, all these different artists had joined. The Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney have all joined Neil Young. They have not. They haven't. And I know, because when I see that, I'm like, oh, shit. My first thought is, let me verify. Because I have a significant, an account that is a significant size. It's not 12 million like Joe Rogan, but, fair amount of people do see my tweets. So I want to make sure I'm not spreading bullshit. And sure enough, I looked and no. So you cannot use misinformation to fight misinformation. And I saw a lot of comments, people saying that is not enough. The disclaimer on his show is not enough. And you know what? I tend to agree, because look, at the end of the day, the people who are tuning in to Joe Rogan, they don't care about a disclaimer. They don't care, because he's already curated his audience. You understand? He's not converting any new brains. The people who distrust him will not be showing up to listen. The people who love him will show up and continue to show up in droves, despite the disclaimer. And that's why Spotify has handled this the way they did. They spent $100 million on the guy. They're not about to take Neil Young's side, or Neil Young and Joni Mitchell's side, or Nils Lofgren. You know, they're like, okay, tell your story walking. We got money, real money invested in this guy. So unless somebody major like a Taylor Swift, you know, people who appeal to this generation, you know, these millennials, these Generation Z, or whatever you call, whatever this generation is, until those artists step forward and say, yeah, I'm with Neil Young, that's going to remain what it is. So Joe Rogan is not going to be censored. But what I want to say, I need to wrap this up quickly because I've gone way over time. What I want to say is censorship, as it deals with privately owned tech companies, social media companies like Facebook and Twitter, et cetera, even YouTube, you know, they have terms and conditions. They have rules of conduct. Just the same way, if you take your kids to a place like Sky Zone where they can bounce around, there's rules of conduct there. You know, you have the right to jump, get some air. You have the right to use their facilities as they are intended to be used. You know, can you use their bouncing facilities to thrust yourself into another kid and crack his skull open? Absolutely not. You know, you have to behave within the realm of what's acceptable by that facilitator, by the company that is allowing you to use their space to have fun. Twitter and Facebook are allowing us to use their space to have fun. We have to abide by their rules. We don't like it, go somewhere else. That's what it is. That's what the right wing tells you all the time. They tell you, if you don't like it here, then leave. That's the rules. You got to abide by the rules. And I like what Neil Young stands for, because he's saying, you know what, Spotify, your rules are bullshit. Your standards need to come up. Not on everything, on this thing, on this COVID-19 thing, to save lives. You know, the same thing as when you go to a place like Disney World. You have to coexist with everybody there. Nobody likes to wait online, but, you know, especially those 1.5, 2 hour long lines. But you can't just cut to the front of the line and expect everything to be hunky-dory. You have to abide by the rules of the place that you are using. It's simple. Simple as that. So, censorship when it comes to people's safety. Jed Murphy, thank you, my friend, for the kind donation. Censorship when it applies to safety, the overall collective safety of us as a nation, it's important. Because sometimes, you know, people aren't smart enough to behave in their own best interest, as we see by people who are drinking urine and bleach and, you know, horse dewormer and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's my bit on censorship. I am sure that I have left out a ton of things that I wanted to say, but, you know, it's a dense topic and I wanted to talk about it because it is pertinent, you know, to what is happening today in a lot of different ways. You know, it's not all good, you know, especially what happens when one day it's us that's getting censored. What happens if we wake up one day and all of a sudden Brooklyn Dad is censored? Brooklyn Dad is suspended for whatever. You know, it can happen. Don't think it won't happen. Plenty of us. In fact, I got suspended last year for some tweet. Don't remember what it was, but plenty of us have, crossed the line there and we get slapped on the wrist. It is what it is. All right. It's time for the guessing game portion of the show. And this is Name That Movie Character Quote. I believe that... Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me. I'm thirsty. And this cup, by the way, this is a non-spill cup. Wifey told me not to demonstrate, but I can't help myself now. Here it is, right? So let me see. See what I'm doing? I'm tapping this cup. It ain't going anywhere. It's not falling over. This is a no spill cup, but when I lift it straight up, oh, look at that. Wait. Oh, this is great. I forget what this is, who makes this, but it's very clever. Okay, how this goes is I'm going to read a quote that is from a very famous movie. And when you hear the quote, when you know which movie character said it, then you type the name of that movie character. Huh? Yeah, Misha Oliver says, I'll have what she's having. Then I would say, lady from When Harry Met Sally. Restaurant lady, whatever. I would say that. Yeah? And that would be correct, I think. Okay. Here we go. The first quote. Are you not entertained? Here we go. Let's see those guesses. That's actually a perfect question for this show. Are you not entertained? Now, come on. I want the name. Not the name of the movie. I need the name of the character. All right. I've seen enough. I've stumped a bunch of you. We were looking for Maximus Decimus Meridius. I would have accepted Maximus alone, but it is from the movie Gladiator. Gladiator. I see many of you have answered Gladiator, but what I needed was the name of the character. Let's see who we got. Let's see. Meredith Powell is at the top with Maximus, followed by Adrian Gladish, Susie Brizuela, Cecile Kazemi, Philosophy, Cindy C, Marie from New Jersey, Ness from Connecticut brings up a good point. Everyone remembers him as Gladiator, but that was not his name. Misha Oliver. Yes, that is Russell Crowe. Good job, you guys. Very good. Let's jump on to the next one. It is You Shall Not Pass. Let's go. I tell you, this must be my 5th glass of water today, and I will probably have another 5 glasses before the day is out. It is helping me with the hunger pangs. It is. My main snack these days is nuts. Here we go. I've seen enough. We were looking for Gandalf. Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Man, there are a few moments in movies that I love more than this one. You shall not pass. He said that to that big dragon thing on that little tiny narrow bridge he was on. That was badass. That was a badass scene. And okay, at the top here we have Splooge McDuck, followed by Veronica Tello, Mytal Cabelli, Ness from Connecticut, The Trump Reaper, Susie Brizuela, Corey Lord, Scribble My Dibbles, Meredith Powell, Nurse Mitch, Sylvia Correa, Samantha Hawkins, Adrian Gladish, Lisa Hathaway, Cecile Kazemi, Gavin Rutherford. Wait, no. Gavin Rutherford said, my teacher. Sylvia Correa, Susie Brizuela, Cindy C. Good job, you guys. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's keep it going. Here's the next one. This is Sparta. Let's go. Guess. This is Sparta. All right, I've seen enough. We were looking for the 300. Now, the reason I chose that background and some of the other backgrounds like this one here, the reason I chose that little girl to accompany the quote is I felt like some of these quotes are like way too easy. So I want to throw your brain off just a little bit. Like, wait, what? Was that a little girl who said that? But I was unable to fool many of you on this one here. Okay, at the top, we've got Samantha Hawkins, followed by Ness from Connecticut, Scribble My Dibbles, and then Splooge McDuck, Meredith Powell, Susie Brizuela, Sylvia Correa, Cecile Kazemi, Adrian Gladish, Lucy L, Marie from New Jersey, Tracy M, The Trump Reaper, la 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 la. Okay, Misha, don't worry, hang in there. You're going to get one of these and maybe more than one. Here we go. Here's the next one. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Let's go. Now for this one, I understand you might not know the name of the character. You can, in this one, give me the name of the actor, okay? This one, you give me the name of the actor, because his character's name really isn't, that well known, I don't think. Oh, shit. I'll tell you what I'm laughing in a minute. Meow. All right, I've seen enough. We were looking for Brian Mills, aka Liam Neeson, from the movie Taken. And let's see, who do we have at the top here? Ra-da-da-da-da-da. Eddie G is at the top, followed by, oh, this is why I was laughing. Nurse Mitch said, racist guy from Taken. He had that thing. I forget what he had said. Meredith Powell, Scrooge McDuck, McDuck, Luppy Girl, Susie Briswella, Maital Cabelli with the name of the character, Brian Mills, very good. Michelle Bookout, Samantha Hawkins, Smila J, Adrian Gladish, Lucy L, Misha Oliver. There you go, Misha. There you go. Corey Lord with the name former CIA Brian. Very good. Kathleen Cross, Cindy C. Boy, a bunch of you guys thought that this was Harvey Keitel from Pulp Fiction, which it makes sense, but it's not. That's very good, though. It's an excellent guess, actually. Cecile Kazemi, Susie Briswella, Meredith Powell said Bob the Builder. Ned's from Connecticut. Good job, you guys. Excellent. Very good. Here's the next one. We got to keep it moving. Here we go. Why so serious? Why so serious? Why? Why so serious? Why so serious? Seen enough. Bra-da-da-da-da-da. We have the Joker. Why so serious? From The Dark Knight. That was Heath Ledger's Joker. Probably the best Joker of all time, I think. Yes, better than Jack Nicholson. It's debatable. Who cares? I don't care. But I say it's Heath Ledger. At the top, we have Splooge McDuck, followed by Lee Saunders, Ness from Connecticut, Meredith Powell, Melissa McQueen, Eddie G, Cecile Kazemi, Asmila J, the Trump Reaper, Misha Oliver, gotcha again, there you go, Susie Briswella, Maital Cabelli, Sylvia Correa, Cindy C, Lucy L, Samantha Hawkins, Nurse Mitch, Corey Lord, Kathleen Cross, Marie said my boss, Adrian Gladish, Lisa Hathaway, Zubba Dubba Dub. Very good, you guys, very good. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. Here's the next one. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Oh. This is also a famous quote from a famous movie that I have only seen bits and pieces of. Never saw the whole thing. I don't even remember that quote, to be perfectly honest. I just know that this quote always comes up as like most famous quote, or one of the most famous movie quotes. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Okay, I see a bunch of you are guessing the name of the movie, not the name of the character. I need the name of the character. All right, I've seen enough. Guys, don't be upset if you don't get all of these. Like if you don't get this, you know, who cares? There's no prize. All right, let's see. Ra-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm going to say if you gave me the name of the actress, and in this instance, Veronica Tello is at the top with Rachel McAdams. Her character was named Regina George. Excuse me. From Mean Girls. Cindy C. Meredith Powell. Elaine Prieto. Susie Brizuela. Cecile says blonde girl. That's close. Yeah, she is blonde. I'm going to give you partial credit for that. Samantha Hawkins. Susie Brizuela, Eddie G. Splooge McDuck is devastated. Okay. Eddie G is making me feel good saying these are hard. I'm glad. I meant to stump you guys on some of these. Very nice. Let's go. Let's get it. Very nice. I did help with the accent, yeah. What do you mean it's not Drake? What? Here we go. Seen enough. I was looking for Borat from the movie Borat. And let's see who's at the top here. Splooge McDuck once again at the top, followed by Ness from Connecticut, Meredith Powell, Lee Saunders, Samantha Hawkins, Susie Brizuela, Cindy C, Elaine Prieto, Cecile Kazemi, The Trump Reaper, Misha Oliver, Nurse Mitch, Eddie G, Lisa Hathaway, Fox Hill Dreams, Adrian Gladish, Elaine Prieto, Marie from New Jersey, Gavin Rutherford says Borat or Melania, Sylvia Correa, Kathleen Cross says Virat, which I believe must be a spell check issue. Good job, you guys. Let's go. Here's the next one. Got a few more. This one is, I wish I knew how to quit you. Let's go. I wish I knew how to acquit you. Ra-da-da-da-da-da. See, I got Trump Reaper. Okay, I've seen enough. We were looking for Jack twist from the movie Brokeback Mountain. And let's see. At the top here, we have Meredith Powell, followed by Eddie G. I'm going to give you partial credit because you did say the Heath Ledger character in the cowboy movie. That's pretty close. Splooge McDuck thought maybe it was Jesse Pinkman talking to a bag of meth. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Cindy C. Let's see. The dude from Brokeback Mountain, says Nurse Mitch. That's partial credit for that. Kathleen, no. Yeah, no, I can't give you partial credit if you're just guessing the dude from Brokeback Mountain. I need the characters. Samantha Hawkins. Nope, it's not Jethro Tull. Okay, I did stump a bunch of you on that one. Let's see how you do on this next one. Let's keep it going. May the odds be ever in your favor. Let's do it. You see what I did there? Yeah? May the odds be ever in your favor. Eddie G. Oh, that's a good answer, Eddie G. Okay, I've seen enough. I've got to do less dancing here because it is getting late. I know some of you have things to do. We're looking for Effie Trinket from the Hunger Games. And let's see. Ra-da-da-da-da-da. Meredith Powell is at the top, followed by Susie Brizuela. Eddie G said, all that clown-looking lady. Cindy Z. That damn Alaskan you get partial credit for. No, I can't give you partial credit. Elaine Prieto, Eddie G, Samantha Hawkins, Maita Cabelli, Cecile Kazemi. Corey Lord gets partial credit for saying the Master of Ceremonies from the Hunger Games. That is, oh, wait a minute. Is she? Yeah, that's close. Close enough. Adrian Gladish, Elaine Prieto, Michelle Bookout. Da 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 da, ra ta 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 ta. Okay, good job. Last one, you guys. This is the last one. Here we go. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me? Let's go. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me? This is one of my all-time favorite comedy movies. This was so funny. This was one of those movies that had me, the tears running. I remember this movie and something about Mary. Those are movies, and Step Brothers. Those three movies had me crying at the theater, side bursting. All right, I've seen enough. Okay, so if you guessed Jack Burns from the movie Meet the Parents, you were correct. I will give you partial credit if you did say Robert De Niro's character, if you couldn't remember the dad's name. Let's see. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Excuse me. Eddie G is at the top, followed by Splooge McDuck. I'm going to give you that. Dad from Meet the Parents. Jack Burns, Cindy C. Very good. Meredith Powell. Ness from Connecticut. Jack Burns. Correct. De Niro. Cecile Kazemi. Good. Samantha Hawkins. Jack Burns. Veronica Tello. Adrian Gladish, Kathleen Cross. Good job, you guys. Very good. Very good. I hope you enjoyed that game. I know that was tough for some of you. But yeah, this was good. These aren't all meant, they're not meant to be all layup questions, Really, I want to challenge your minds, your recall ability. Why? Because the more we make our brains have to recall stuff, the further off we can stave, what's that called? Alzheimer's. Yeah, that is like my biggest fear. My biggest fear is Alzheimer's. And I want to keep my brain sharp. And by having to remember things is the way, I think. So I hope I'm helping in just a tiny way. Good job, all of you. Okay, it's last but not least time for you, Raggedy Bish. Damn, that was every possible sound I could possibly have. I know, that's funny. I just forgot Alzheimer's. That is funny. All right, so Veronica Tello, thank you, my friend, for the kind donation. Let me see. Do I have?
It doesn't change.
No, that's not it. I thought I had video for this, but I don't. There was another rally this weekend, this time in Conroe, Texas, where the former guy, a.k.a. Spanky McDumbass, had yet another rally, and of course he's made some very incendiary remarks and unpresidential comments, sore loser that he is. He wasn't just complaining about his election loss to President Biden. No, this time he was suggesting, quote, if these radical, vicious, racist prosecutors do anything wrong or illegal, I hope we are going to have in this country the biggest protest we ever had in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Atlanta, and elsewhere. Ness from Connecticut, thank you for the kind donation, my friend. I want you to listen to what he said. He called them racist. All three of those places, in DC, in New York, and Atlanta, they're all black. All of them. Fulton County, the district attorney, her name is Fannie Willis on the far left here. In the middle, we have New York Attorney General Letitia James. And in Washington, D.C., we have Attorney General Karl Racine. All three of them are black, and he called them racist. He targeted them. As a result, today, the Georgia prosecutor, the Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis, asked the FBI for security help after Trump's comments because, the last time he made comments like that, there was a thing that happened in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol building. Not a big deal, right? No, it's a very big deal. He also hinted again that he might be running for office, and he said, if I run and I win, we will treat those people from January 6th fairly. We will treat them fairly. And if it requires pardons, we will give them pardons because they're being treated so unfairly. So here he is now with some more bribery. He's already left them holding the bag. He told them he was going to be with them. He wasn't with them. There's a bunch of people in there who he's talking about giving pardons to that have already mounted as their defense. The president invited us. They're all saying they regret what they have done. Pardons for the Capitol attackers. Can you imagine that shit? But wait, there's more. He released a statement last night about Mike Pence that is like a huge head scratcher because he is basically admitting that he wanted to overturn the election. This is about Mike Pence. He said, if the vice president, Mike Pence, had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results in the Senate, despite fraud and many other irregularities, how come the Democrats and rhino Republicans like wacky Susan Collins, who, by the way, Susan Collins this weekend says she couldn't rule out voting for this insurrectionist jackass, desperately trying to pass legislation that will not allow the vice presidents to change the results of the election. Michelle Bookout, thank you for the donation, my friend. Actually, what they are saying is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the outcome, and they now want to take that right away. Unfortunately, he didn't exercise that power. He could have overturned the election. Like, what are you waiting for, Mr. Garland? I'm trying to back up off you, and I am. I'm not tweeting angry things about Merrick Garland, but, when is enough going to be enough? When will you have gathered enough evidence to arrest this fool and put him behind bars and remove the threat? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I hate to rant and run, but I have gone way, way longer than I planned to. But thank you for joining me for another wonderful episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, a.k.a. BrooklynDad. And if you have not yet gotten your shot, please do. Please get the shot, get the booster, stay safe, keep your family safe, wear your mask, keep your social distance 6 feet or better, and have a lovely, relaxing evening and next few days. As you know, I will not be back Wednesday, hump day. I will be back Friday. I will be at the Garden on Wednesday. So, looking forward to having a great time. And I will see you guys on Friday. Same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Twisted Coconut was lurking this whole time. Didn't even know it. Didn't even know. Boom. Hey! The Trump Reaper wants to know if I will ever do a half-hour game show. That is interesting. That's a thought. That's a thought. I constantly have ideas for these guessing games. I might, Rabbit, I might. Splooge McDuck asks if I can let him out of the crawl space. Never! Hey! No snacks for you. Boy, this show went long. Almost 2 hours. I will do a wave, indeed. I'll be the guy wearing the Knicks jersey. All right, you guys. I will miss you on Wednesday. Yeah, but thank you for sharing your time with me. I will see you Friday, but it is now that time. You need to